finishing off a day of travel with steak and butter.
I think I finally have the whole traveling thing down. Pretty much any restaurant in the airports, you can go in and get poached eggs or eggs any style. They usually charge you around $3 each, but that's better than eating something that's going to make you sick. So I had 3 poached eggs for breakfast on the plane, and that was accompanied with an awesome Tupperware full of steak. For a really good hack, I actually cooked my steak the night before and put it in the freezer. And then that made it so that everything that I had in my Tupperware stayed nice and cool. And by the time I was on the plane and ready to eat, the meat had thawed without going bad, and it was tasting super fresh. So that is my hack that I found this week. The cutest thing I saw today while I was waiting for the poached eggs were these tiny little mini couches. And it was the first time where I really regretted not bringing the dog with me, because I thought, oh my gosh, it was these 2 little luxury couches that Minu could have hung out on while I was waiting to board the plane. Anyway, life is good. The bummy kind of doom and gloom mood has really lifted over the last couple of days. I am feeling more energized, thank goodness. Not a big weight gain, unfortunately, but at the same time, I feel like everything's leveling out. My cheeks aren't hollow anymore, which is really nice. And I'm getting a lot of feedback of, wow, you look really healthy and you look good. So even though I'm on the slender side, and one of the ladies on the plane was like, you need more protein. I know what I'm talking about. I think she was a nurse or something. More protein, and don't be afraid to eat the fat. And I was like, she has no idea that's all I eat. So lots and lots of travel over the last week and a half. The eating carnivore had been helping with my hip pain, and now I'm realizing that the plane rides are aggravating that. So that's one thing I've been thinking about. Just because you're carnivore, yes, sometimes you feel more superhuman than you used to because the contrast is lovely and you're feeling great. You're still not superhuman. So if you're not being careful with your sleep and you're not being careful with your general self-care, it's not like you're not going to have some problems. So yeah, so the hip is hurting a bit today because of the 2 red eyes in a week and a half, plus all the extra other flights I've done. But overall, feeling my morale is a lot higher. So plus, I've got the dog with me now. You can see his butt. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts this year. They've been great company for me. And on one of them, they were talking about, I can't remember who was telling this, but it really stuck with me. And then I made it my own and paraphrased this to understanding what he was talking about. What was he talking about? He was talking about how we have to be so vigilant about self-responsibility and about health. I never put that much stock into my own health until recently. And the way that this podcast put it was essentially, you have a duty to yourself, to your family, to your community, to your society, to your city, essentially to the whole human race, and to, if you believe in the universe, to the universe, to keep yourself healthy. When you don't keep yourself healthy, you become a burden. You become somebody else's responsibility. And I do believe in helping each other out, but I think that it's so important that it comes from us first. If you're not willing to help yourself and to do everything you can to keep yourself healthy, then that's not the best situation, is it? So I want to be of service to myself, to my family. I want to keep my puppy healthy and be able to pay his vet bills. I want to be able to be there for my friends and family who've been there for me. So this is about keeping me healthy, and it helps with cravings. It helps with not caving. So I was able to do a lot of travel in the last 2 weeks and not cave. Because I keep thinking, if I don't do this and my stomach doesn't get better, then it really limits my choices and it makes me less able to take care of those I love. Not that I want to take care of them, less able to contribute to the lives of those I love and to be a collaborator in the lives of those I love. And also, I have so many projects. So I think that's what's really shifting as well, is the motivation and the inspiration to do things. I've been working on the French album and the English album, and I've already got 2 other projects lined up on top of doing this and of working on a website for a writing project that I did with Francophone Albertan seniors. So I'm putting up a whole website with writing exercises and interviews with them. And when I'm sitting down, I'm able to focus. And it's not just about being able to focus, I want to do it. Which brings me to another marvelous podcast hack. I was listening to Alex Hormozi. I'm going to write it here because I don't remember how to pronounce it. But he was on the podcast Modern Wisdom, and it was such a good episode. I'm going to put a link in the video description. An interesting hack he gave me was that when you are working, whether or not you're passionate about it, doesn't matter. When you are working, one of the most stimulating and I want to keep working things to do is at the end of your workday or whenever you decide to stop working, do not finish the task. Leave the task open because your brain will drive you crazy and push you to go back to your computer or your workspace or whatever the work is, so that tomorrow you will be so pumped and ready to go because you'll need to finish that task. And I thought that was brilliant, that idea of leaving tasks open. Because lately I've been OCDing and needing to finish the task to the point where I'm not even going to sit down with supper and it's getting cold. Because I'm thinking, oh no, I need to finish this because otherwise my brain's going to go crazy. And instead, I'm going to try this out and see what happens when I leave tasks open. I have a feeling that it's going to make my brain also innovate more and be more creative. So I'm leaving tasks open. I almost feel like leaving this conversation open, but I won't leave you on a cliffhanger because that's just torture. If you're looking for motivation, the motivation already comes the healthier you are. Because the healthier you are, the easier it is to be happy. The easier it is to be happy, the easier it is to have passion and focus and drive for whatever projects you're doing. At least I hope so. I think I'm right.